Hello students, now we will see the next diagram is class model and UML class modeling is one of the major UML modeling technique. Class model is the most fundamental model for a system to be done, and this is because it describes what the changing with the system. The class diagram having the words class and objects are often used if they are the same, but actually they are not, and the object is someone or something like a person, and while a class is definitions of the objects and that share the same kinds of properties, relationships and the behavior. Then class based modeling also includes identifies classes, attributes and relationship. The class diagram depicts the static view of an applications, and it represents the types of objects residing in the system and the relationship between them. A class consists of its objects and also it may inherit from other classes. A class diagram is used to visualize, describe, document and various different aspects of the system and also construct executable software code. It also shows three attributes, classes and functions and a relationship to give an overview of the software system, and it constitute class name, attribute and functions in the separate compartment that helps in the software development. Since it is the collection of classes, interfaces, association, collaboration and constraint, it is termed as a structural diagram. Then purpose of the class diagram: it analyze and design a static view of an application. It also describe the major responsibility of the system. Then it is best for component and deployment diagrams, and it is the incorporate forward and reverse engineering. Then notation for the class model or class diagram. Then here symbol, this is the symbol for class. A class describes the set of objects that share the same specification or features, constraint and semantic. Then active class, this is the symbol for active class. Active class initiate and control the flow of activity. Then visibility, it having three types of visibility: public, provide and protected. Plus symbol for public, minus for provide and hash for protected. Then class name, attribute, and here some operations. Use visibility markers to signify who can access the information contained within the class. Then use the private visibility, hide the information from anything outside the class partition. Then public visibility allows all the other classes to view the mark information, and protected visibility allows child classes to access information they inherit from the parent class. Then attribute, here this is the symbol for attribute. Attribute is the type value that defines the properties and behavior of the objects. Then operation, operation is the function that can apply to the objects of a given class. Then responsibility, responsibility is the contract which class must conform. Then interface, and this is the symbol for interface. Interface is an abstract class that defines a set of operation that the object of the class associated with this interface provide the other objects. Then association, this is the symbol for association. Association is the relationship between two classes to connect them. Then aggregation, this is the symbol for aggregations, and aggregation is an association with the relationship between a whole and its part, and the relation when one class certain entity that include other entities as a component. Then NRA association, NRA association represent two or more aggregation at the same time, and this is the symbol for NRA association. Then next symbol is composition, and this is the field decision box, the symbol for composition, and composition is a strong variant of aggregation when parts cannot be separately of the whole. Then generalization, here this is the symbol for generalization. Generalization is an association between a more general classifier and more special classifier. Then here inheritance, Inheritance is the relationship when child object or class assume all properties of each parent objects or parent class. Then realization, this is the dotted line with arrow, this is the symbol for realization, and realization is the relationship between interfaces and classes, or a relationship between their components and classes. Then dependency is a relationship when some change of one element and the model can need change of another dependent element. Then multiplicity, there multiplicity shows the quantity of instance of one class that are linked to one instance of the other class. Then packages, here package group are classes and other packages. And last one is collaboration. Collaborations specifies the views of the set incorporating classifiers. Then here one of the example for class diagram. Here class diagram for the railway reservation system. Here this is first table for clerk, and it having attributes id and attribute first. Then it uses railway system, it having id. Then passenger having name, address, age and gender. These are the tables, and tables connected. And then train, here ticket and payment. These having some operations here. Every class having the three sections. One of the first section is class name, then attributes and then operation. Every class having this same constraint included in any class. Here the clerk is the name of class, id is the name of attributes, and form details and cancellation form, these are the operations or functions. Then railway reservations, here and operation is a response. Then name, address, age and gender, this is the attribute for passenger class. And search train, book train, cancellation tickets, page charge, modify form, these are the operations on the passenger tables. And trains, here the train number and train name. Then ticket, here passenger number, status, number of persons and chain type. And here fare amounts, and here the new tickets. And then payment is the amount. Here the relationship between the classes, railway system to the clerk, here one to many it uses. Then here also railway systems and passenger having the relationships one to one or one to many also. And here payment is one to one relationship between passenger and payment. Then here when ticket and passenger having the many to one or one many one to one also. Here one for one and star for many relationships. This is the class diagram for railway reservation system. Then third model is object model. The object model visualize the elements in the software applications in terms of object. An object is a real world elements in the object oriented environment that may have a physical or some conceptual existence, and each object having identical that distinguishes from the objects of the system. And it also determine the characteristics, properties of the objects as well as values and behaviors that represent externally visible activities performed by the objects. The class here object diagrams are the dependent on the class diagram, and they are derived from the class diagram. It also represent an instance of the class diagram, and the object helps in the portraying the static view of an object oriented system at a specific instance. And both the object and class diagrams are similar to some extent. Both are having the some similarities, and the only difference that class diagram provides an abstract view and abstract view of the system, and it helps to visualizing a particular functionality of the system. Then what is the purpose for object diagram? It is used to perform forward and reverse engineering. Then it is used to understand object behavior and their relationship practically. Then it is also used to get a static view of the system, and it is used to represent an instance of the system. The object diagram is a unified modeling language, that means UML is the diagram that shows a complete or partial view of the structure or model system at a specific timing. And the object diagram describes the static structure of the system on a particular time. Then it having some basic object diagram symbols and notations. This is the symbol for class, we have already seen. Then here object name, this is the symbol for object name colon and class name. Then this is the name object, and then unnamed object, we can also declare unnamed object colon and class with underline, and object name colon class double colon then packages. These are the name and object with their path name also. Then each object is represented as a rectangle, and which contains the name of the objects and its class underlined and separated by the colon. Then third is object attributes. Here the class, we can list object attributes in the separate compartment. Unlike classes, object attributes must have values assigned to them. That means here the attributes, but difference is assign the values of attributes. Then active objects, objects that control actions flow are called as the active objects, and this is the symbol for active objects. Then multiplicity, this is the symbol for multiplicity. You can illustrate multiple objects as one symbol if the attributes of the individual objects are not important. Then instance specification, this is the symbol for instance specification. Instance specification is the model element that represent an instance in a model system. And instance specification specifies existence of an entity in the model system and completely or partially describe the entities. Then next, link. These are the symbols for links, and links are instance of the association, and we can draw a link using lines used in class diagram. A link is a tuple with one values for each end of the association, where each value is an instance of the type at the end. And the last is self link. This is the symbol for self link. Object name colon class with underline, and with the here one of the loop here, the object that fulfill more than one role can be self link, and it marks an administrative assistants also fulfilled with role of marketing assistants, and two positions are linked. Marks instance of the two classes will be here. This is the self link. Then example for the object diagrams of an order management system. It represent the order management system, and the diagrams is the instance of the system of a particular time purchase, and it having the following objects like customer, here see this figure, customer, then order, then special order and normal order. These are the four objects. Now the customer object is associated with three orders, O1, O2 and O3. Here O1, O2 and O3. These orders objects are associated with special order and normal order like S1, S2 and N1. The customers is having following three orders of the different numbers. Here is 12, 30, 32 and 40 for the particular time considered. And now the customer can increase the number of orders in future, and that scenario the object diagram will reflect that. If the order and the special order and normal order objects are observed, then you will find they are having the some values. For order, the values having 12, 32 and 40, which implies that objects are having these values for a particular moment when the instance is captured. And same for the special order and normal order objects, which are having the numbers is 20, 30 and here 60. If the different type of purchase is considered, then these values will be changed accordingly. So the object diagram has been drawn, considered all the points mentioned. This is the diagram for the order management system.